What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real football fan, stand up. Yo, before we get started, I gotta say thank you. I got a lot of great feedback from yesterday's video, and not just from the YouTube community, but the community as a whole, man. There's insiders, there's writers, bloggers, players. A lot of people reached out to me. It's like, yo, I appreciate what you did. But today is not about that. Y'all know how we do on this channel. It is draft season, and we have to drop those draft bangers. And when it comes to today's banger, man, this prospect, a lot of people, self-included, has been talking about this guy. Now, there's been some rumblings about him being the white Micah Parsons. And we family, it's Friday, so we got to keep it real. This kid ain't no Micah Parsons. If you go back to my draft content I did on Micah Parsons in 2020, this is completely different. But I will say this, he is from Texas. He played for Denton Ryan High School, and those who are unfamiliar, Denton Ryan, they've been putting out some top prospects. And he actually played with a kid who I believe is the next Micah Parsons, but that kid ain't going to be out in the draft until the next 3 to 4 years. So we got some time down the road. But just want to let y'all know, if you came here looking for the next Micah Parsons, it might not be it, but I'll tell y'all this, Drew Sanders is a phenomenal prospect. This kid is flexible, man. A flexible pass rusher, has incredible bend, and he's 6'5", 232. So he started off his career, and we'll see here on the film session, at the University of Alabama, has transferred to the University of Arkansas, where he became an edge rusher at Alabama and was switched to an outside linebacker. So he has that versatility. So he has a natural pass rush sense. Now, the knock on him is that he's kind of small, right? He's kind of small, only being 235. So that's why he transitioned on to being an outside linebacker, but he has a lean frame, and a lot of NFL teams kind of like that lean frame when it comes to the outside linebacker position. And he also has some sideline to sideline speed. Now, it's not blazing, right? You're not going to do the Home Alone face slap, and we'll see that here in a second, but he can definitely move sideline to sideline. But he is an avalanche, man. And what I mean by avalanche, when he comes downhill, he gets rolling, and nothing's really going to stop his momentum, man. So I definitely love that about Drew Sanders. In coverage, he's okay. You're not going to line him up in the slot on a wide receiver or anything like that, but he can drop back, play some Tampa 2 zone, play some underneath zone, and still make plays on the ball. Now, the biggest knock against him, he is a tweener, as I mentioned earlier. You know, he's played a little bit of outside linebacker only for this past year. So there's going to be a learning curve when it comes to Drew Sanders. He is going to be a project player. And the one thing that I saw frequently as we'll go through the film is he missed a lot of tackles. Yeah, he's kind of slippery blippery when it comes to making tackles, but make no mistakes about it, this kid is just a pure football player. So let's go ahead and get into the film. So this very first play, you'll see him lined up on the left side. So this is him at Alabama. So I'm going to kind of start from the beginning and kind of walk you through the current, right? So he's outside on the left side, hand in the dirt. Don't pay too much attention to the play, right? But I just kind of want to show the versatility. Gets his hands off. He's actually in the bear stance, right? It's 4-point stance. Comes off. His hand on the left tackle, right? So he's kind of built for some punishment, right? So the kid, he looked a lot bigger at Alabama. I'm not sure if it's the Alabama uniforms or something. He looked a lot bigger when he was actually on the edge, but also Alabama used him to stand up, kind of drops back in coverage a little bit. Quarterback scrambles, he comes downhill and makes the tackle. So Alabama used him in a variety of different ways. Once again, he's standing up on the outside here, going to seal the edge and make a tackle. All right, so he's tough. He has a lot of toughness, a lot of grit. He's very blue collar when it comes to being a linebacker, especially the NFL position. And I think that, you know, a lot of NFL scouts are going to like that about him because you can do a lot of different things, Dan Quinn included. So that's why I've been very vocal on Twitter, like, yo, if you let Dan Quinn kind of get a hold of this kind of, you know, mold of clay, he can definitely mold it because the intangibles, everything is there. It just needs some coaching, and we know Dan Quinn likes to coach and educate his players, man. And you go back to Sam Williams, when we did that video, Sam Williams was just a raw mold of clay, but we all saw it, and Dan Quinn got his hands on it, and he unleashed the kid, and we're excited about Sam Williams for this upcoming season. But here he is at Arkansas playing middle linebacker. Now, once again, what do I always teach on this channel? Start from the base up, look at his feet, look at his stance. We'll look at his stance from the end zone angle here in a second, but My one knock on him is this right here. And this is Jay Tuck. For those who don't know, I did play linebacker, not at the NFL level, but that was my position. So this is my baby, right? This is the one thing he does frequently. He tips. He tips. So what that means is he comes out of his stance pre-snap. Now, is it a big deal in college? Nah, it's not really that much of a big deal. But at the NFL level, you have an NFL quarterback. They see this. Red, check, check, check. Omaha, Omaha, check, check, check. Mike, Mike, Mike. So you've already showed your hand that you're coming, and now they're at the line of scrimmage making adjustments. So what he's really going to need to focus on, even though he's coming downhill, right, to not show his hand early, but he shows this a lot when you watch his film. Now, you look at his stance, it's kind of wide. Some linebackers like a wide stance, right? It's more comfortable for them. Me personally, I was more of a, shoulders length guy because it's more comfortable for me. But, I'm really not too concerned about his stance, even with that wide stance. It's the tipping right here. Gets him off balance a little bit, because if this is a counter, he's cooked. So he's already kind of showing his stance right there. If you tip, you're already off balance, and you got to come. There's no pulling back on your heels after you already showed your hands. But that's something you see frequently when it comes to Drew Sanders at the linebacker position. But like I said, he's only played the position for 1 year, so there's going to be a lot of growing pains. But here he is in coverage, and once again, no, this is not coverage, right? This is once him again coming downhill and being that avalanche. Bullies that guard, that poor guard, right? Gets him cooked. So that's him showing some of that edge rusher. That's showing some of that tenacity. And I like that grit, right? Even though he did not make a play on the quarterback, he just throws that little guard down. It's like, bro, get out of my way. So I love that, right? So like I said, he's a huge mold of clay that if a defensive coordinator can get their hands on, it's a lot of different things you can do with it. But as you see, once again, he's tipping on fofos. He's already coming. He's already coming, right? This little guard, you're big. Get in the weight room, little bro. So I love that. I love that tenacity. This play here is him in zone coverage. So once again, like I said, he's not going to be a guy you want to line up at the slot, but if you play a little Tampa 2, cover 2, he can drop in the hooks and make plays on the ball, right? Now, this was just a poorly thrown ball, right? Like anybody pretty much could have caught that, but it shows his field awareness, right? He has a good knack of awareness of where he is in zone coverage, made a play on the ball, and that's what you like to see. So as we're seeing, as we're going through his clip and his film, you're seeing a lot of different things: hand in the dirt, standing up, middle linebacker, outside linebacker, coming to A gap, B gap. There's a lot of different things. It's just really going to have to be simplifying it for him and find out what he does best and just tell him to go play football. Now, that is the one comparison I will say when it comes to Micah Parsons and Drew Sanders, is when we did the film breakdown of Micah Parsons coming out of Penn State, I said the same exact thing, right? Tons of talent, tons of upside, can do a lot of different things, but you got to simplify it and just let him go. All right. On this play here comes the pressure. Here comes the pain. Here comes the pain, right? Comes down, gets pressure, but you see this a lot in his film, and especially last year, slippery, missing tackles, letting running backs, quarterbacks escape because he's not able to secure. That is the one area he definitely has to improve on, is being more secure with his tackling. But look at him come downhill and get that pressure. He tips a little bit, but he's still coming. He's still coming, but you got to make that play, right? Especially at the NFL level. Watch it from the end zone, come downhill, and misses it. That should have been a free shot to the quarterback. Like that quarterback should have been up out of there. She got that quarterback sent to the crossroads, right? But he got slipped a little bit. And on this next play here, you'll see the same exact thing. Whoop, slipped, right? Getting slipped on, right? So if you're going to play at the NFL level, you got to be a secure tackler, right? So, a lot of people talk about Micah Parsons. He kind of gives me an LVE type of feel more than Micah Parsons, if we're being completely honest. I just know because of the edge rushing capability and the pass rushing capability, that's why he's linked to Micah, kind of, from Cowboys fans. But he's very LVE-ish to me. But, we really have some uncertainty what the Cowboys are going to do with LVE. But no matter what position he's going to play, and he's going to be an outside linebacker. I don't think he's going to be a Mike at all. He can grow into the Mike, but as of right now, he's going to be your outside guy, maybe your Sam more than likely. You got to be more secure when it comes to your tackles. Bro. All right, in this play here, this is kind of showing his sideline to sideline capability. Not, super elite, not sexy, not jumping off, but he can scrape pretty well, get through some of the garbage and make a play on the ball. Like I said, he's an edge rusher, linebacker, like he's 6'5", like, there's a lot of things that he still needs to figure out, but he's always going to play with the high motor and always play with effort. And that's one thing I love about Drew Sanders as well. All right, and in this play here, he's going to drop back in space, kind of recognize it, playing the quarterback, and come downhill. All right, so just effort plays right there. Now that right there, you damn sure can't do that in a Dallas Cowboys uniform, because that's a flag. That right there, that extra push, that's the flag. If you are having the star on your helmet and Cowboys fans are saying, get him up out of there, right? Sam Williams went through that a lot his rookie season. Those are some things you can't allow, especially in Dallas, but I like the effort of him coming downhill and just making plays. Yeah, that's laundry day. That extra push is laundry day. All right, in this play right here, I think where Drew Sanders is best is in between the tackles. So he's not really outside the tackler. He can be, but he really shows his values in between the tackles in the trenches. Here he just comes downhill, gets banged up a little bit, and still makes a play. But even then, he's on the play, right? He's still slipping off a little bit, right? But like I said, he's an avalanche. He comes downhill, takes on the punishment of the offensive line, and still gets his hands on the running back. A good effort, like I said. Coming downhill, that's where he's really gonna make his money. And in between the tackles, he's really gonna make his money. So Dan Quinn could blitz in the A gap, B gap, but you could also have him off the edge, right? He had a lot of pressure. He had 39 pressures. He was 4th in college football when it comes to his pressure ratio. So he can definitely get to the quarterback, but you gotta secure the tackle. And this last play here is just showing the effort once again. Kind of lost in space. Now right here, most players would be like, nah, man, you know what? That's way too far of a distance. But the one thing I like is he didn't like pretty much come hauling, but his pursuit angle was perfect. That perfect line to meet the running back where he was going to be, squared up and kind of secured it, even though it was a penalty. But I just kind of like that effort of not giving up on the plays. So that's it, man. That is Drew Sanders, linebacker, outside linebacker out of the University of Arkansas. I know a lot of people's like, yo, Tuck, drop the Sanders. So you ask, I deliver. I like the prospect. If you're kind of mocking him, I would say maybe round 3 could slide up into day 2. I don't think he's going to be a first round prospect due to a lot of the uncertainties, but you're definitely going to hear this kid's name call on day 2, man. It's your boy J Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. If you love NFL draft content, we got more right there. So click on that. Keep watching, man. I appreciate all the support. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and stop comparing players to Micah Parsons. Peace.